Hello, my name is Luther Cifers, and I'm running for the 10th District seat in the Virginia Senate. This is just a very quick video to tell you a little bit about who I am, why I'm running, and what I hope to accomplish. If you'd like to learn more, please visit luthercifers.com. Look me up on Facebook. My personal Luther Cifers profile is unlocked for the public. You can also find my Luther Cifers for Senate Facebook page. And if all else fails, reach out through the website or through any of the messaging. And if you'd like to have a conversation, I can give you a call as well. So essentially a little bit about me personally. I'm a family man. My wife Anastasia and I have 5 children. We have 1 grandson, and we have another grandson that'll be here in March. It's an exciting time for our family. It's kind of baby season. I'm a Christian and I'm a conservative. Those are the values that have shaped my worldview. Those are the values that have defined me as a person. And those are the principles that I rely on in my decision-making process. I'm a 5th generation Virginian. I've lived in the 10th District my entire life. I grew up in Amelia County and currently live in Prince Edward County. And I'm entering this race as an entrepreneur, not as a politician. And I'm running to restore the trust, the power, and the authority to the people. My highest priority is liberty for the people. I do not believe that if you transfer the power from a set of free people to a government that you're going to improve society. I think that's the trend. That's what always happens when governments grow and when people start to consolidate power. It's happened throughout history, but it's never led to anything good. We know what has led to the best chapter in terms of success and prosperity in human history, and that is the system of government that God inspired and that our founders penned that the United States was based on. This idea of constitutional liberty, that liberty is given to us by God and cannot be taken away by the government. They've managed to skirt the Constitution in a lot of areas so that it's really difficult to say that the liberty has been taken. What they do is they tell us we have to ask for permission to exercise our liberties. And then when we do get the permission to exercise our liberties, they tell us how to exercise them. Hey, that's what happens when you have a bunch of unelected bureaucrats that have unconstitutional authority that are dictating all the aspects of our daily lives. You know, criminal law is one thing. And I think in most cases in criminal law in the United States, I think we do a pretty good job. But this unelected bureaucrats enforcing all of this massive troves of regulation on every aspect of our lives, it's driving costs up. It's making our lives less affordable. We know today that inflation is out of control all over the place. We blame that on COVID. That's true. COVID had a little bit to do with that with supply chains and stuff. We've definitely printed too much money. And now there's so much money in the system that the value of the dollar is diluted, which means everything costs more dollars. But also, all of this regulation drives the cost of everything else up, because when a business has to pay all the engineers and all the lawyers and all of these extra people just to navigate the government's bureaucracy, that cost has to get applied somewhere. That money doesn't come out of thin air. It gets passed on to you, the consumer. And if you're a business owner, you know this for yourself, that you're not raising prices because you're as the Biden administration says, because you're profiteering or because you're price gouging. You're raising prices because the cost of doing business is getting higher and higher. And for most small business owners, it's hard to support their own family these days, much less, get into some crooked profiteering, which is the narrative coming from the left. The reality is the government created the problem, and more government will never solve the problem. Ronald Reagan told us that, our founders knew that, and I think we all know that. The problem is our politicians don't know that. What I intend to do in the Senate, aside from legislative priorities that restore power and trust and authority to the people of the Commonwealth, is I just want to get the government out of your hair. All of this unnecessary regulation, the idea that a bureaucrat is automatically trusted because they work for the government, and a citizen is automatically untrusted because we're a citizen for no other reason. That's why you have to get permits for things. That's why there's regulations on how you have to do things, because you're not trusted with your own judgment. That's fundamentally wrong, and in my opinion, it's fundamentally unconstitutional. So if you want to, if you feel like the thing that we need most in the Senate is someone with Senate experience, there are a number of candidates in this race that fit that bill. But what I would suggest is that what we need in the Senate is more people that have real hand or real world firsthand experience, that have actually been out in the trenches, that have worked in some of these stations of life, that have navigated the ascension from one stage gate to another, and understand the hurdles that people deal with when they're trying to better themselves and improve themselves and provide for their families. That is what I intend to take to the Senate, and I intend to do that not only as a legislator, but also as a culture warrior, meaning that within the Senate body itself, I want to find the like-minded individuals in the private conversations, in the philosophical conversations. Let's agree on why we're here. Let's agree on the oath that we took, and let's agree that we believe in our country as God inspired it and as our founders penned it, not this progressive version that we've got today. And let's start working to get this Commonwealth back to its roots, back to these fundamental principles that made America and the state of Virginia great to begin with. So, checking my notes here. Yeah, the other thing is people are telling me that, hey, or other candidates are telling me that, hey, you don't have enough experience for this. Well, let me tell you something. Experience got us Joe Biden. Okay, experience got us Joe Biden. Someone who's a real world problem solver, who's an entrepreneur, who understands how the real world works, that got us President Trump. You can tell me which one of those you think is the best for the Commonwealth. I know what I think, and that's why I'm in this race. And what I hope is that I can count on your support on December 13th. If you dedicate one evening of your life to me, I promise you that I will dedicate the next 3 years of my life to you, to the liberties that God gave you, to getting the government out of your hair and making sure that your children and mine have the same opportunities in life that we did. Thank you very much for taking the time to listen. God bless you, and God bless America.